human brain has 80,000 thoughts a day, right? And 80% of those 80,000 thoughts are negative. 15% are repeats of the day before. So 5% is for positivity and new things and learning new things. So what I want to make sure is that you guys are ready. The content and the strategies which I'm going to share with you today, I usually teach the businesses over about half a day to a day. I don't have that luxury, unfortunately. I've got about half an hour, and I've done this presentation before, and I've always considered which areas I should take out. What I've actually done is I've streamlined the whole process for you. I've made it into an exact syntax. I'm going to cover all the exact strategies and a little bit about mindset as well, to make sure that you can come away from here, and if you implement the things I tell you, you'll see a positive, you'll see some positive results, usually within about 90 days. So just quickly before we get too far in, by show of hands, how many people here today are looking to significantly increase their finances through being more successful online? Pretty much everyone, right? That's always good. So keep your hands up, if you're serious about influencing some of the strategies I'm going to show you today. Good, right, so I've got you. So one of the things for me is, sometimes, obviously people will be coming around. You probably spoke to a million apprenticeship providers here today, and you might be coming for a sit down. I want you guys to take action with this. So if you've got a piece of paper right now, I want you to write down, take action now. I want you to put an exclamation mark, I want you to circle it and then underline it, and I want you to put it away. And there's 3 reasons I want you to do that. 1, it will be the only thing you need to write down today. I've got a paint by numbers, step-by-step guide, ebook, which I'll send over to you at the end of the presentation, so don't worry about that. 2 is because 97% of people which ever attend the seminar never actually implement the things which they get taught, and that's not because you're lazy or you don't want to do it, it's just because you're busy lives. You obviously run your own businesses. And ultimately for me, the 3rd reason is because 80%, right? So the human brain has 80,000 thoughts a day, right? And 80% of those 80,000 thoughts are negative. 15% are repeats of the day before. So 5% is for positivity and new things and learning new things. So what I want to make sure is that you guys are ready. I'm going to give you a ton of information. It's going to come thick and fast, and we'll see how far we get over the half an hour. So just to give you a little bit of a brief intro about me, so what basically I do, I work with small business owners, a little bit like yourself, and I help them to generate a flood of new customers. The way I do this is usually we upgrade their website, and then I work with them on key multi-channel marketing. Now, typically, what we do when I'm working with a small business is we look at SEO, we look at marketing, and we look at these different types of approaches. Look, I'm sure there's a ton of really successful people here today, and I'm sure that you'll agree that sort of 2 of the keys of being successful in business is, 1 is staying 1 step ahead of your competition, but 2 is maximizing on those key lead generation sources. As after all, sales is the crux of any successful business. Now, I've been in this industry for 10 plus years now, and I can't think of a more effective way of growing a business and scaling a business than having an effective online marketing strategy. And the reason for, like, say, by having a sales team, and the reason for that is because once you've got a correct strategy, and you know that by putting £1 in, you get 3 back, it becomes very easy for you to scale. It becomes very easy for you to understand as well the investment. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to really briefly introduce myself. So my name's Adam Collins. I'm the creative director of a web design and digital marketing agency called Current Web. We work with predominantly businesses over the West Midlands, and we help them, like I said, generate more business online. As well as being a web and digital marketing agency, we're probably the leader in pay monthly websites. What that is it's where you can get a £3,000 website for £35 a month, and that's something which is very, very true to us. Now, the reason I'm here to speak to you guys today, here's some of the businesses we work with, customers, larger organisations. The reason I'm here to speak with you guys today is, of course, the elephant in the room, which is Brexit. Right, so I'm not here to speak to you guys and tell you whether you should be remaining or leaving, or who should be the next Prime Minister, or should we have another election. Ultimately, what Brexit brings with it is a financially uncertain time and an unpredictability. So businesses don't know the challenges they're going to be facing in 6 months' time, 12 months' time, or 18 months' time. So what I want to be able to do is, what usually happens with businesses is when it becomes financially uncertain, they tend to contract. Now, the issue is with that is the first thing always on the chopping block is the digital marketing budget. So you cut your digital marketing budget. and you get less traffic to your website, which is less leads, less sales. So then, your turnover drops, so then you'll cut the digital marketing budget again, less leads, less sales. And really, it's a constant loop, and it's a spiral that you can't get out of. So what I wanted to do is give you two sort of core key strategies, and the reason why I'm doing this today is for two reasons. One is to give you the skills yourself, so if you do need to contract, that you actually have the skill set yourself, so you can go out and you can implement these things yourself, and you don't have to spend for a digital marketing agency, you can implement these core strategies. But the second is what I call it gives you an internalized BS detector. And what I mean by that is, you've probably all dealt with SEO agencies, and they're great at promising the earth, and they're great at under-delivering. What this information will give you is it will give you a base level of knowledge. So when you're speaking to them, you'll be able to ask them certain questions. And if they don't give you the right type of responses, you'll probably know to stay clear and save you money and potentially go elsewhere. So, what I want to do today is I want to focus on two key strategies, which is what to do and how to do it. Now, this ultimately goes back to when I started within the industry. So I started 10 years ago. I was 16 at the time, and I started going around flogging websites, a bit like a nerdy Dell boy. And basically what I was doing is basically winging it for mom and pop businesses, and I went really quickly on to working for one of the leading web and digital marketing agencies in the country. And while I was there, I thought, look, I'm going to be a sponge, I'm going to learn everything about digital marketing. And you quickly find out there's too much to know. No one knows everything. So what I did then is I focused on two strategies, which is what to do and how to do it. And I've always kept those same principles. So, implement them key strategies. Why am I implementing them? Don't worry about how Google works or the next Google algorithm. Just implement what strategies are they and how do I implement them. Here's some testimonials. We'll skip over that as well. So, just real quick, the agenda for today, which I wanted to cover with you. So what we're going to do is we're going to demystify some Google myths. Now, there's a number of reasons why I want to do that. Ultimately, if you guys have got the wrong mindset, you're never going to go away and action the things I'm giving to you today, giving you on a tray. The second is 5 local SEO hacks for your business. So that's really the crux of the presentation, where I'm going to give you 5 easy to implement strategies that you can do today and you'll get results within 90 days. The third is getting the right type of website. So it's all good having the best SEO or the best marketing, but if there's people coming through to the website and it looks terrible, then they're going to bounce off. So it's about choosing the right type of website. The fourth is a free ebook. As I mentioned, I've put everything together for you, so you don't need to worry about notes. I'm going to give it to you on a silver platter. And fifth, I'm going to make you a selfless offer. And the reason I do this is ultimately I'm not ashamed. Sales is the crux of every business. I want to give you a ton of value, and if you want to take me up on an offer at the end, then you're more than welcome to. So let's get started with the Google misconceptions. So the first misconception, which obviously people have a lot and people think I have, is they believe that there is a red button. And basically what we do as digital marketing agencies, we tie you into a 9-month contract. And after 6 months, we press this button and you shoot to the top of Google. Simply not the case. Trust me, I'd not be living in England in winter if that was the case. Ultimately, you need to make sure that you, one, choose the right agency which are implementing the correct strategies. That's the most important thing. The second is that SEO is a scam. It goes back to the first point. SEO is definitely not a scam. It works for tons of businesses. It works for my business. It can work for your business. If it's not, there's simply a strategy you don't know and you don't know how to implement it. That's what I'm going to try and show you today. The third is that you have to be a techie. SEO, don't get me wrong, there are on-site SEO tactics which need to be done, but a lot of tools now have all of this inbuilt. So you can get quite far with having just a little bit of knowledge. A lot of 90% of SEO is off-site SEO, and again, you don't need any technical knowledge for those things. The fourth misconception is Google hates my business, right? And I've seen this a lot, and I always say to people, look, Google, a huge company, they don't have any vendettas against the double glazing company in Derby. You know, at the end of the day, there's just something you don't know, and if you implement it, it'll change for you. So, the 5 local SEO strategies. So this is the crux of it. The first is Google My Business. Now, one of the things I often play a term of is hacks. I'm not giving you any hacks today. All of this is very common sense. It's all very easy to implement. There's no trickery around there. It's all very, very simple stuff. Google My Business is without doubt the biggest opportunity for local businesses within 2020 and then 2021. And it's probably one of the most undervalued, underused sources in favor of things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. which are all great. The reason why Google My Business is so powerful, so I've actually done a search for Restaurants Derby, and you can see that Brown's Restaurants Derby appear top. Now this here is an actual screenshot. Where are the paid listings? They're nowhere. Where are the organic listings? Nowhere. This is all about social proof. Basically, the way they've done that is you sign up to Google, they confirm your address with a postcard, and then what it is, you need to fill out your profile, and then it's all a case of generating amazing reviews. If you can do that, look at Brown's Restaurant Derby, they're top for a search. Think of the amount of restaurants in Derby, think of all the national businesses. This isn't a business probably with millions and millions of pounds to spend, but they managed to get to the top because they implemented a key core strategy. And again, like I said here, the reason they're at the top is because they've got X amount of reviews, probably, I can't remember, is that 400 odd reviews? Generate reviews for your business on Google My Business, give people a discount if you need to, and honestly you'll be shocked at the results. If you're a double glazing company in Derby, have them write the review and say, look, I was looking for a double glazing company in Derby and they did XYZ. You'll be shocked at the algorithm. The algorithm which ranks Google My Business is much simpler than the algorithm which ranks organic listings. So it's a very, very quick win for you. Second step is having website contact information, which sounds such a basic step. So what you want is you want it on your footer of your home page, well, footer of every page, and on your contact page. What you want to do is you want to make sure that it includes your company name, your business address, your actual business address, your localized phone number, right? That helps Google localize your business. And then what you want to do is you want to use something called Google Schema. Now Google Schema does require you to have a little bit of HTML knowledge. However, all you need to do online is write in Google Schema Generator. What Google Schema is an exact amount of tags which tell Google exactly the information, what you're trying to tell them. So there's a tag for street address, there's a tag for postcode, there's a tag for region. You're basically giving Google all the information so they can't get confused and they know exactly where you are. Now you want that featured on every page of your website in the footer, and then you want it featured on your Contact Us page. Think, you're Google, how is it going to know that you're based in Coventry or Derby or Leicester or Manchester if you don't tell it? The third step is OnSite SEO. So, what OnSite SEO is? So, OnSite SEO is the SEO practices you implement into your website which helps tell Google what keywords you want to rank for. Now, there's a couple of key steps which I wanted to touch with you today which are super important and often completely misused. The three are page creation and keyword distribution. The second is content creation. And the third is title and meta descriptions, right? There's so much more. We have like a 350-point checklist which every site goes through. These three are the crux. So, page creation and keyword distribution. One of the big issues, we'll take the double glazing company for example. One of the big issues, you know, Bob, who owns the local double glazing business, does is he'll have a page, one page on his website, and on his home page he'll list all of the services he does, and then he'll list that he serves Derby, Manchester, London, Milton Keynes, Glasgow, and he'll put it all on there. What you're doing there basically is you're confusing Google, one, to the services you provide, but two, to where you're actually based. You don't want to be doing that. So what you do is you end up getting really mediocre results for everything, so it's pointless. What you want to be doing is having a logical page structure to your website. So, on your home page, you'll choose your primary keyword and your primary service, maximum maybe 2 or 3 areas. So maybe Derby and maybe Nottingham. Then you want each individual service page into a logical order. So you might want a service page for composite doors, you might want a service page for UPVC doors. You don't want to clump them all onto one page, otherwise you risk confusing Google. The second thing to do, actually quickly going back onto that, is, like I said, distribute your areas. So choose 1 or 2 areas to focus on. If you want to expand your search elsewhere, create individual landing pages for Manchester, for Liverpool. Don't cramp them all onto one page, otherwise you're going to seriously confuse Google and affect your rankings. The second sort of key to the treasure chest is high quality content. Now, what I mean by high quality content, so each of those landing pages, so it's now very logical for Google, you want at least 250 to 500 words of unique content on there. Now, this content can't be copied from anywhere else. If you copy it from anywhere else, Google will know, it'll just slap you and you won't rank. It's pointless. It needs to be unique. It needs to include your keywords. Again, you want to be telling Google what you want to rank for. If you're a double glazing company in Derby, mention it a couple of times. Yeah, if you're looking for a reliable double glazing company in Derby, consider us XYZ. Google picks up those keywords and it will help you to rank. It helps Google's content algorithm understand what you actually want to rank for. The fourth, though, is don't keyword stuff. So often people flip the other side then and they put double glazing Derby 20 times on the website. You don't need to do that. It's not that stupid. All you need is just to mention it a couple of times and Google's smart enough to pick it up on itself. The fifth is a little bit of code. It's called a H1 tag. Now what a H1 tag does is it defines the heading of a page. It carries huge SEO weight, and you shouldn't have any more than maybe 7 words in it. If you struggle with H1s, don't worry. Again, in the ebook, there's a paint by numbers, straightforward syntax where I literally gave you the structure so you can copy and paste it from there. But make sure you don't use more than one H1 tag. Again, you just dilute the authority in Google. Technical SEO. So obviously, like I said, technical SEO goes into so many different realms. Google's search algorithm has like 300, 400, 500 different considerations when ranking a website, so there's too much for this presentation. The benefit is that 95% of you will be using WordPress probably, and there's an unbelievable tool called Yoast SEO. And Yoast SEO basically does a lot of the technical stuff for you, so you don't have to. It gives you literally a paint-by-numbers simple solution in the back end, so you can change your title and meta tags, and you never need to touch any code. It's a great tool. I highly recommend using it. If not, if you don't want to use this tool, if you want to know how to do titles, meta descriptions, etc., again, I've put all of the syntax in the ebook for you. So like I said, meta tags. There's 3 sort of core meta tags which are really 2 really core important ones, and then one which isn't important, which I'm going to touch on. One's the title tag. So the title tag sits at the top browser window, and it helps tell Google what this page is about. So it appears on Google's search when it does it. It will appear in the blue at the top. So it's the actual name. So you want to probably be using about 70 characters within that. You want to be putting your keywords and areas in there as well. Again, the syntax is in the ebook. The second one is the meta description. Now, most people think that the meta description carries a ton of information and basically is a big ranking signal when it's actually not. Use the meta description about 150 characters to sell your business. That's what it's there for. It's from a CRO point of view. So make sure you don't mix that up. Don't keyword in the meta description. Don't keyword stuff. Really puts a really impressive sales pitch there to make sure you get high conversion rates. The third tag I wanted to touch upon briefly was the meta keyword tag. Now, it sounds great, meta keywords. I'm going to put my keywords in here. It's pointless, has no SEO value. All it does is it tells SEO specialists like me what keywords you're looking to rank for. So steer clear of the meta keyword tag. Okay, so step 4 is the Google Search Console. So what the Google Search Console is it's a tool online, and you submit your website to it, and it gives you literally vital health information on your website. So has it got any crawl errors? Have you got any manual actions or penalties from Google? Why am I not ranking? It also allows you to upload a sitemap to it. So again, you're telling Google exactly what keywords you want to rank for. So step 5, and this is really one of the most important steps with local SEO, is called citations, right? And what citations are online references to your business. Now, what an online reference is, let's say if any of you have ever signed up to Yale.com or Thompson Local, you'll find that your company name, your business address, your phone number, and your email are on there. So that basically means is it's a reference to your business. What you want online is you want to have a consistent, what's called a NAP, across all references on your online. So you want your name, address, and phone number to be consistent. What that allows Google to do is build a digital footprint for you. So just think back to one of the earlier steps. On our website now, in the footer, we have the address, we have the phone number, and we have the company name. On the Google My Business, which you've verified, you have your address, you have your business name, and you have your, that's not a little bit and you have your address and you have your phone number.
Stage 1, John Salisbury from Lime Licensing Group, thank you.
And then, so you've obviously got your website, you've got your Google My Business, and then thirdly, you've now got these references. Now, citations are one of the core ranking factors. So all you need to do is add your site to these citations. It's a primary ranking factor. One of the key, most important steps with citations and how it can damage your business is people have done these types of things before, then they've moved business address, or they've changed phone number. What that does is it creates an inconsistent NAP. And what that does is it confuses Google to where you are. So you want to be trying to find all of your existing citations you've got for your business, correcting them to the correct information, and then going and creating more. Now, I know the next step is, well, what the hell is the citation and where the hell can I find it? Well, again, in the ebook, I've got about 30 to 40 citations there, which I add every single site to, and you can simply just go through and add your business to those listings, and you'll find that it's a massive increase in your rankings when you do that locally. So I just really wanted to touch upon, just real quick, the right type of website. So traditionally, so let's say you guys have implemented all that information, you're starting to rank on Google, you're probably not going to get the full exposure, and you're probably not going to rank as effectively, maybe because your website's not been built correctly. So there's 4 different types of websites. One is the Bespoke Ecommerce, and this typically is one of the best investments you can make. Typically costs about £10,000 to £20,000. If you choose the right agency, it can allow your business to earn hundreds of thousands or millions a year. The issue with this approach and going for a bespoke e-commerce is if you don't choose your agency correctly, you can end up with a really redundant site on on someone else's intellectual property which you don't own. You end up 10, 20 grand out of debt. So what you want to be doing with this, if you ever go down this approach, and I encourage you to do this with a proper agency, make sure that you see case studies from them, make sure that you see ranking examples, make sure you can see turnover and revenue figures from what they've done for other customers. That's really crucial. The second is a bespoke brochure website. Again, this is something which I love, and it's one of the best investments you can make. Typically, you'll invest about £2,000 or £3,000 in it. You'll have a digital team like mine, and we'll design you something specifically designed. 1, around your customers' buying motives, 2, around your goals for the business, and 3, the way we design it with the key call to actions, the placement of text. It's all about getting customers to convert. The third type of website you can sort of get built are the do-it-yourself builders, Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy. Now, Wix and Squarespace are amazing, and that really shocks people when I say that. If you're technically minded, incredible platforms. One of the issues you've got with Wix and Squarespace is often people aren't technically minded. So they'll spend hundreds of hours trying to build this website, and they won't ever get those proper results. So it harms their SEO, it harms their conversion rates, their bounce rates are extremely high. What we decided to do, well actually the fourth type, so the fourth type is really where the issue is within our industry, and if you've ever been burnt, it's often because of this fourth type. It's basically Cowboy Web Designers. And the big issue with Cowboy Web Designers is they'll charge £700 to £800. Often it can be like a graphic designer who's just dabbling with websites, or often they'll outsource the website abroad to a different country, so you're never actually getting that full expertise. What we were finding is this is really damaging businesses at the minute, because without the right website, the right vehicle, you can put all the best fuel in it if you want, but you're never going to move anywhere. So what we did is we've created a pay monthly website solution, which I'm just going to really briefly touch upon. It could be a massive game changer for you if you wanted to take the step. So what a pay monthly website is what we did, we sat there and went, how can we address this problem? Wix is fine, Squarespace is fine, but not everyone has £2,000 to spend, and not everyone wants to do it themselves. So what we decided to do, we've created 60 layouts, I think at the minute, from every industry and every sector you can probably think of, and our customers choose the layout they want, they provide us with the content, and we get them up and running usually within 5 days. Really, really simple. We don't tie any customers into any contracts, there's no setup fees. It's all about protecting your cash flow, and why it's brilliant is because you can make sure that you have a all singing, all dancing website. that is fully SEO optimized without any massive overheads. So here, like I said, you choose your design, we develop it for you, and the website goes live usually within about 7 days. So, just really quickly before sort of coming to the end of the presentation, as mentioned, I've put together a free ebook for you guys. It's super easy to use, it's way simpler than I've even described it today. It's a copy and paste job. All you need to do, it covers in there, it covers Google My Business, it covers website optimization, it covers on-site SEO tips, and it covers the list of 30 citations. So you guys literally don't need to do anything yourself. It's all a copy and paste job and just reading the information, and I'll tell you exactly what to do with it. All of the information I've provided you today, I would implement on an SEO campaign, and typically implement on an SEO campaign over a 3-month period, and that customer could be paying me £500 to £1,000 a month. These are the core strategies. It's simple, it works, don't overcomplicate it, implement them, and like I said, you will genuinely be shocked at the results of doing the basics right. So, what I'm going to do is give you guys a limited time offer for today. So, all the information I've provided here today, I'm willing to give you a 60-day free trial on the website, so you can do it. No contracts, no setup fees, you don't have to stay on afterwards. I'm going to implement everything which I've taught you today, so all the citations, all the titles, all the meta descriptions, and what I'm going to do that potentially maybe for 5 or 10 of the businesses here today, and if after the 60 days you like it, you can keep it going. We give you a lifetime discount, so our typical product's £35 a month. You will only ever pay £23.50 per month, and you just pay as you go. If you want to do that, the price for you today is completely free, so you just need to come over, you can test the solution, see if it works for you. If it does, great. If it doesn't, you've not really lost anything. Here's one of the last things I want to touch upon, and again, I think it's going to be a big game changer. We've created a Facebook group called Bite-Sized Business and Marketing Advice, and typically what it's going to be doing is I'm going around, I'm picking people. I'm going to pick Sam over there as a lead generation specialist. He's going to be joining it. There's experts in so many different industries, from marketing to sales to business. I'm going to have them all in one place. It's completely open to the general public. It's a private group, so if anyone comes in there and starts selling anything to you, there's no selling. They'll be kicked out of the group. And what I'm going to be doing is giving you bite-sized chunks of information from me and the people I have in it about how to succeed at the highest level, simple hacks, similar to what I've gave you today. Last but not least, let's connect. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, we've got the Facebook group, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, which again, if you're a business and you want to do things on social, consider looking at TikTok. At the minute, children are using it, but those kids in 5 years' time will probably be your customers. It's probably one of the only platforms left, TikTok, to make you aware that you can get from 0 to 500,000 followers pretty quickly by doing a viral video. So it's really, really something you guys should consider. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and any questions, I'd be love to answer them.